just couldn't resist recycling a classic that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted in the first place. But I'm not saying that the Royal Rumble itself was completely trash. Not saying that at all. No. The women's Royal Rumble was just all the way better than the men's Royal Rumble. The matches themselves were not great, but the story being told. The story being told. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. The DQ finish, as much as people were like upset about it and like raging about it over the fact that it don't belong on pay-per-view or something along the lines of that. That was pitiful booking. That was stupid booking. You don't understand that moment where Seth Rollins came out dressed as the Shield, dressed in his Shield outfit, was probably one of the most heinous things. Like, he was basically playing. He played the game very well. He played the very mental game very well and told the story of like on SmackDown on SmackDown Friday night. I was about to say last night, but it was Friday night, right? A SmackDown on Friday night, right? Where Roman Reigns said that he hated you. You know, he hated Seth Rollins for what he did to the Shield. He hated him for that moment, and that was like you felt that. And the fact that Seth Rollins decided, I'm going to choose to get myself beat down, coming out in his Shield uniform and getting basically destroyed by Roman Reigns to the point that it cost a DQ. I think that was one of those beautiful stories told, that it didn't need to be like this long 50-minute, 70-minute match. You know, it did not need the length that y'all were looking for. It just needed to get the point across. And then after the match, when he hit Seth Rollins in the back with the chair, solid work, WWE. Solid work, solid storytelling. Whoever did that, man, that was good. I'm gonna say that was good. That was good for me. I don't care about, so much the pizzazz, the whole of how the match was supposed to be, whatever. That at the end, after the match, was great. I don't care what anybody has to say. That was great to me. That was great. Another thing is the women's Royal Rumble, like I said, was a lot better than the men's. Even though we were spoiled with majority of who was going to be on the roster, we were who was going to be in the Rumble. We were spoiled, but at the same time, it still gave us goosebumps, still gave us surprises. Like, it was good to see Alicia Fox back. It was good to see. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about her. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all will be wrong, but y'all can say whatever y'all want. But Alicia Fox still has a whole place in my heart. Still one of the best Divas champions that you'll ever see. Fight me. But good to see. Good to see Kelly. Good to see Bo. Probably the one that made me like really get out of my seat. Sarah Logan. made me get out of my seat. I was like, oh. And Liv Morgan was in the ring. I was just like, that's no, y'all can't do this. Y'all can't do this to me. Y'all can't make me have emotions right now. Y'all not supposed to be doing that. This is supposed to be just regular, a rumble of greatness. But yeah, you had the Bella Twins come out with their separate music, which was cool. I was fine with that. I was fine with the Bella Twins coming out. Kelly, you had Ivory and her rights to censor. She gets thrown out. How dare you? Oh, that was great. That's still a great moment. That was a fun moment. Michelle McCool showing that she can still go if need be. And it was there was a lot of craziness. And then we get Ronda freaking Rousey coming back. As much as people were just like, oh, this was predictable. Well, honestly, it was kind of one of those moments where I was like, oh, I forgot that there was a possibility that she could come back because I stopped looking at the like I stopped looking at videos like Wrestle Talk and all of them, all the ones that want to be wrestling news. I stopped looking at them and stopped going online to see whose ideas or whatever. I stayed away from the internet and anything. I stay away from anything associated with the Royal Rumble while online. So everything was blocked out, so I can enjoy it myself without people just bashing it down, because I went on Twitter and that's why this video was coming out, because I enjoyed the freaking Royal Rumble, because I wasn't trying to be this in the know type of guy. I was just trying to enjoy the show, enjoy the product, whatever comes out. And my gosh, let's point out some highlights right now. Let's talk about some highlights. Sasha Banks dressed as Sailor Moon. Freaking Zelina Vega dressed as Madara Uchiha. Come on. Get double thumbs up for me. Get double the thumbs for me for both of them, because that was just great. My thumb crooked? Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah, there we go. Bam, 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 bam. What am I doing? I don't know, but yes, their outfits, they really embrace their anime, and then it shows you their category of what anime selection that they're part of. Like we have Sasha Banks, who's a part of the 90s block of anime, 90s early 2000s block of anime, while you got Miss Zelina Vega, who's a part of the later 2000s, but they could probably be like the huge fans coming from the 90s, the 80s even, but neither here nor there. That's a debate for another time that I'll probably have a chance to have with them. It's like, that would be my question. That would be my question towards them when I get to that point of interviewing. When I get to the point of interviewing people. So, with that said, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, after Ronda Rousey came out, it didn't surprise me, but I liked the result. I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the result. And the fact that Shayna Baszler and freaking Ronda Rousey was kind of like clearing house together. Come on. Come on, man. You can't. Come on, man. It's right there. Writings on the wall. Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. Was a good match. It was a good match. It's just, was I mad at the result? Not, not necessarily, because I feel like Doudrop wasn't quite. It's not ready for the title yet, but I'm kind of tired of seeing Becky Lynch with it. Those are my things. Those are just my personal things. I want someone to take it from Becky Lynch. Who to take it from Becky Lynch? I don't know. Maybe Ronda Rousey will either pick Charlotte, or she will pick Becky. She has choices in that Royal Rumble. You know, she has choices. And I think, ooh, excuse me. I think the choice was SmackDown, right? Because Charlotte Flair was in the Royal Rumble, so you get a title match against her if you tossed her out, I guess. Was that the stipulation? I didn't watch it. I'll be honest. I didn't watch that episode. I didn't hear her explain it. So, my bad if I got it wrong. Just correct me in the bottom, in the comment section. My bad. My fault. What? But, let's see. We had Edge and Bad Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice. Not bad. Not a bad match at all. Not a bad match. Beth Phoenix power bombing the Miz. I'm giving that good old thumbs up. Let's see. Them winning the match, good thumbs up, because it's like, why would Miz and Maurice win? It was just great to see Maurice in the ring again. So, there's those things. Let's also see. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, for the Universal Championship. And, it was two big men, two big meaty men slapping meat. Like, that's like, I can't define it as anything else. They were hitting each other with big power moves, hitting each other with their finishers all day long, and they were just getting up from it. Their stats was on 100 that night. Like, all of their stats was up. Their resiliency and everything was just on par. And then Roman Reigns got involved. Great storytelling. I don't care what anybody says. It's continuity, and everybody's like, we don't want to see this match again. We already know what the men's Royal Rumble is going to be like since Brock Lesnar lost. We know now. Oh my God. It is such a tragedy. Well, don't watch it. Don't watch WrestleMania. Don't pay for WrestleMania then. Don't pay for any other pay-per-views afterwards. Don't watch Raw. Don't watch SmackDown. Let people that don't want to be in the know and want to know everything that's going on all the time, let me enjoy the show. Let me go on the internet and enjoy, and have people enjoy the show with me. I don't want to be like, I'm trying to watch a show. I'm not trying to freaking become the Nostradamus of wrestling. I don't want to be that, man. I just want to watch these men and women. Entertain us and enjoy the fact that they are putting their bodies on the line, for just that, And as selfish as that sounds, like, I still care for the health and well-being of them. Like, whenever there's whenever there's an injury update, I send my well wishes. Speedy recovery, whether I like them or not. Like, if Becky Lynch is not one of my favorite wrestlers. I will say that. I will say that she's not one of my favorite performers. But if something were to happen to her, I will send my well wishes because I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want nobody to get injured. I don't want nobody to experience anything severe while they're in the ring. I don't want nothing to happen to them while they're in the ring, outside the ring, whatever the case may be. Don't I don't wish nothing like that on nobody because that's insane. Like, like for me, that's kind of like pushing it, because it's just at the end of the day, it's a show that a has a bit of a lot of realism to it when it comes to majority of the injuries. And I want nothing but the men and women of pro wrestling all over to not get hurt. Ever. I don't want nobody to get hurt. That's me. But yeah, Roman Reigns getting involved in the men's Universal Championship match was solid. I found it solid. I don't care what everybody says. And Bobby Lashley winning it, it's just, yes. That's just icing on the cake for me. That's my icing on the cake. And this icing on the cake because the Almighty is back on top. Now the question is, who's going to face the Almighty? Who's going to dethrone him? Who's going to take the title away from the Almighty at WrestleMania? Who's going to face him? Because I guess everybody's dream was for Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Why? Why? Because he was the tribal chief versus The Rock, and they wanted to prove who's the head of the table. That's such a limited story. There's nothing really there. They can't really do a lot to that, except for divide. Like that'll probably divide the freaking bloodline, and then the bloodline is just kaputs. And it's like I would like to see it if it started a while ago. If it started a while ago, like they were trading shots on freaking Twitter or something like that, I would have liked it. Would have liked it a lot, but it's kind of too late, too short. Need a lengthy arc. What else about the Royal Rumble was great. The men's Royal Rumble, I will admit, was the least exciting, the most disappointing, I must say. Oh, right. Yeah, it was. It was just not there. There was no surprise legends. There was no real, like I would have preferred to see some, I don't know, maybe a lot of NXT talent be part of that Rumble. A lot. Fill out the roster. Like that's something I would have liked to see in the women's Royal Rumble, but the women's Royal Rumble was fine. It was great. I liked it. I liked the women's Royal Rumble. I liked the women's title match. The women were put in a good spot for that. That was their pay-per-view. Honest, humble opinion. As far as the men goes, the Royal Rumble was just like, we seen it, but I'm kind of like, well, things, it's possible things can change. Like we've seen this before. We've seen it before with last minute changes and stuff like that within the WWE. Why? Why are people like? I don't understand why people are so upset. You know, if you've been upset with the WWE for a long time and you expect disappointment, stop watching the product. Go watch AEW. Go watch Impact. By the way, I forgot to mention this great moment. Mickie James coming out to Hardcore Country. Nope. Yes. Like, like that's all good. That was good. That was good. Even though like she got to fight Michelle McCool, which oh my God, I'm so glad that the commentators brought up their history with each other. I'm so glad that they did, because Mickie James will never go away, which is kind of like, I'm disappointed that Layla wasn't able to make it, but the rivalry was still there, and I was like, oh, this is good stuff. The Women's Royal Rumble was just the highlight of the whole Royal Rumble. Just my honest and humble opinion. Story-wise, you had Roman Reigns. Just being destructive against Seth Rollins, and then you have freaking him involving himself inside the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, knocking out Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman switching sides yet again, like the traitorous guy that he is. He's very smart. He's very smart. So I honestly can't wait to see what happens on Monday Night Raw. What happens on SmackDown. I can't wait for those shows. And regardless, my rating for the Royal Rumble is a nice hefty, I'm gonna give it a 4. Because the Women's Royal Rumble, the women's title match, freaking Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, the story there, freaking Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley being big monsters that they are, monstering it out, freaking Godzilla versus freaking Rodan, I guess. I don't know. Like I was gonna say Destroy. Yeah, there you go. Destroyer versus Godzilla. Let's go. And freaking man, and the fact that and the outfits of Sasha Banks and Zelina Vega also just solid. Just like I'm really fanning out again, you know, and this is for me. It's for me. Y'all may have a different opinion of things because y'all want to be in the know and want to be like, yo, we're in here. No, I'm enjoying the show because of what is put out there. So, with that said, this been Dude with another video giving the Royal Rumble 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Because it has some hiccups, but all in all, I enjoyed myself. I did. And hopefully, as I low down, hopefully I get to see you guys in the next video, which we will talk about the WWE 2K22 gameplay trailer, the Booyaka one. And I will give you my personal assessment of it, and also talk about in the line of video games, what games I'm really looking forward to. That's it. Peace. Okay. See, it sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So